Dear viewers, in today's video, I am going to tell you about a wonderful true story of a neglected woman. You will be surprised to hear what you hear. So watch the video till the end and subscribe to the channel with love for Islam. There was an elite neighborhood next to the market in Baghdad where Ali ibn Hamid lived. Although his nature was rough, he had a lot of respect in society. His wife Khadija was a very patient and soft-hearted woman. When Khadija became pregnant for the first time, everyone in the family was hoping for the arrival of a son. Ali's mother, Khadija's mother-in-law, used to repeatedly say that my grandson would come to light up our house. He will be the lamp of our lineage. Mother-in-law, you should give birth to a son by any means. Because if the eldest child is a son, it is very beneficial for the father. Husband Ali also wanted that in his heart. But when the day of giving birth came, then the intensity of the pain passed and a beautiful baby girl came to Khadija's lap. Then the whole house fell into silence. The mother-in-law's face immediately turned black. Then Ali came and scolded her. What a waste! I was expecting a son, and you gave me a daughter. What should I do with a daughter? They have to work hard to raise them, but in the end, they are of no use. How did you give birth to this poor girl? Hearing this, Khadija's eyes widened in surprise. Tears welled up in the corners of her eyes. In a trembling voice, she said, "This is the will of Allah. Only He can give a son or a daughter, so it is our responsibility to raise her with love." Hearing this, the mother-in-law could not bear it any longer. She shouted, "Take this cursed girl and leave our house. Please don't defile our house." Hearing this, Khadija could not believe her ears. She looked at Ali, hoping that he would say something, but Ali remained silent. After a while, Ali pushed Khadija towards the door and said, "What my mother said was for my good. Take this poor girl out of my house. Never think of returning to this house." Then Khadija cried and said, "No, you must not tell me to leave like this. I have no one else in this world except you. If you send me out like this, where will I go with this little child?" But Ali did not listen to her. She was firm in her decision. Then Khadija, helpless, went out with her child in her arms. The night had fallen. On the crowded streets of Baghdad, a helpless mother with a newborn child in her arms was walking like a lost child. Who knows where she would go? She had no one else but Allah, and that night was the longest night of her life. Meanwhile, Ali married another wife and started a family with his second wife. As it turned out, Allah Ta'ala blessed them with 3 sons, one after the other. As a result, Ali was living a happy and comfortable life with his sons and daughters. But this happiness did not last long. After a few years, Ali fell ill with a serious illness. Due to his illness, he could not get out of bed. As a result, he would urinate and defecate in bed, and there was a cough all day long. It seemed as if some invisible force was punishing him. In this way, the sound of coughing all day and night and the urinate and defecate in bed made his wife and children annoyed. The boy started saying, "We can't take this old man anymore. Doesn't Azrael see him? He can die without making us suffer like this." Then Ali's wife said, "Don't say anything more. It doesn't seem like he will die soon. We can't sleep due to his pain. If this continues, we will also die one day. Do one thing, throw him somewhere far away and come back. Only then will the disaster be removed." Then at night, the boys, as their mother had said, left Ali on a distant road and returned. Ali looked helpless. There was nothing he could do but shed tears. Then in the morning, a young girl was walking along this road. The girl was a doctor by profession. She stopped when she saw Allie lying helpless on the road. A strange interest burned in her magical eyes. Then the girl took Allie to her medical center and started taking care of him with the necessary medicines. As a result, Allie recovered within a few days after receiving the girl's treatment and care. Then she said to the girl in a tone of gratitude, "Oh, kind woman, when my wife and children threw me on the road to die, you came like an angel and saved my life. It will not be possible for me to repay this debt. The parents who gave birth to you are very fortunate. Well, mother, may I know who you are, and why did you save me?" Hearing Ali's words, the girl's eyes filled with tears. She wiped her eyes and said, "I could not save you. Allah Almighty saved you. I only performed my duty as a doctor, and you wanted to know my identity. To put it simply, I am your unlucky daughter whom you threw out of the house after birth." Hearing this, Ali's body trembled. The hairs on his body stood up like thorns. The memories of the old days flashed before his eyes, when he had thrown his own daughter and wife out of the house on a dark night. Wiping away his tears, he somehow whispered, "Are you Safia?" Then the girl bit her lip to stop her heart-wrenching tears and said, "Yes, I am that unlucky daughter who was deprived of her father's love after birth, who was considered cursed after birth. You know, Father, after you threw me out, my mother raised me with a heavy load, educated me, and made me a doctor. But Father did not let me understand your lack. When I saw my friends' fathers coming to the playground and taking them in his arms and caressing them, I wanted to scream and call for my father, but I could not." Hearing Safia's words, Ali's eyes were watery. He stared at the girl in a daze. He didn't know what to say. At one point, he said in a trembling voice, "Mother Safia, will you forgive me?" Safia didn't answer, so Ali started crying hysterically. He sighed and said, "I see in your face the girl I abandoned one day. I know I should be punished. I can't bear this pain." Hearing this, Safia said, "I am a doctor. My profession is to heal people, not to punish them. But remember, the judgment of the wrong you have done to me is in the hands of Allah alone." Then Ali stood up and said, "Mother Safia, can you forgive me for once?" Then Safia slowly said, "Father, my insults against you are endless, but I will not get any kind of judgment against you, because even if I die, your blood is flowing through my body. But Father, what will you answer in the court of Allah?" Hearing this, Ali lowered his head. His lips were trembling. He sighed and said, "I know, Mother. I don't deserve any forgiveness. I wanted a son who would carry my name, but I did not understand that the true legacy is not a person's children, but his deeds. Today, my daughter, whose birth I once thought was a curse, has given me shelter." Then Safia said nothing more. Then one morning, Ali was sitting in front of the medical center. He was thinking about his second wife and sons, when his mind suddenly twisted. He whispered, "Was I that unnecessary?" Just then a sweet voice came from behind. He turned around and saw Safia standing there. Safia said, "Father, Allah Almighty does not create anyone unnecessary, but He tests us with our actions." Hearing this, Ali sat quietly for a long time. Safia's words were deeply imagining in her heart. At one point, he said in a quiet voice, "Mom Safia, where should I go now?" Then Safia looked into her father's eyes and said, "Father, have you ever wanted to find my mother?" Hearing this, Ali was stunned. His first wife, Khadijah, was the woman he had left home in the dark night. Then Khadijah said, "One day you will understand, Ali. A girl who is born by the will of Allah is never a stranger, and the day you are alone, this truth will tear your heart apart. So is today that day?" Then Safia said, without waiting for her father's decision, I know where Mom is. Can you go and stand in front of her?" Then Ali nodded and agreed. Then Safia started walking with her father towards an unknown destination. As they walked, Safia stopped in front of a small hut in a corner of the city. An old woman was standing in front of the door. Her body was sunburned, but there was a strange peace in her eyes. Ali was shocked when he saw Khadijah. He did not know what to say. Suddenly, Ali fell to his knees and shouted, "Khadijah, I have lost you. I know I am unforgivable, but you have raised my daughter in such a way that you have eased the burden of my sins to some extent. Will you forgive me for once?" Khadijah stood silently for a while. Then she slowly said, "I never wanted your punishment. I wanted you to learn to understand the truth. And when you understand it, how I hate you." Hearing this, Ali stared in amazement. Tears were flowing from Ali's eyes, thinking that Khadijah's heart was so pure after all these years. He had never imagined that Khadijah would forgive him after all these years. But even after being forgiven, he could not find peace in his heart. Then Ali regretted again and said, "Khadijah, if only I could turn back time. If only I had stopped you that night. If only I had understood then." Thus, he started regretting. Then Khadijah said in a soft voice, "Don't regret like this. Allah Ta'ala loves those who correct mistakes more than those who regret. He teaches us from mistakes." Safia was standing and listening to the conversation between the two. A strange peace filled her heart. The man who gave birth to her, the one who rejected her, was asking for forgiveness today. Then the next night, Ali went to his daughter for the first time and said, "Mother Safia, if I die, pray that Allah Almighty will forgive me. You have opened my eyes, Mother." Safia then looked at her father and said, "No one can mislead the one whose heart Allah Almighty has turned to the truth. I hope, Father, maybe Allah Almighty will forgive him." Then Ali lowered his head and started asking Allah Almighty for forgiveness. Then the next night, when Safia entered her father's room, she saw Ali lying in prostration on the prayer mat. Safia then looked at him for a long time, but Ali did not raise his head from prostration. So Safia went near and put her hand on her father's body and realized that Ali was no longer in this world. After Ali's death, the people of the neighborhood were saying that he was a cruel man. He had abandoned his first wife and denied his daughter. Even people did not attend his funeral because of this. But Safia did not listen to all this, because she knew that her father had returned to the path of truth in his last years. Then she raised her hands to Allah Almighty and said, "O Allah, if my father has truly repented, then cover him with the cloak of your mercy." Then Safia went to her mother and saw tears welling up in the corners of her mother's eyes. She had forgiven her husband Ali, but an emptiness still existed deep in her heart. Then Safia said, "How strange is our life, isn't it, Mother?" Khadijah replied, "Yes, life is very mysterious, but Allah's judgment is never wrong." Then Safia said to her mother, "Well, Mother, tell me the truth. Are you happy?" Then Khadijah smiled and said, "Happiness is not a thing. It is a feeling that we find within ourselves. I am certainly happy because I have lost everything and found it again." Dear viewers, if you liked the video, give it a like and definitely give your valuable opinion in the comment box.